We are back in the shop after our first official competition of the year. It was the first real test for the car. It was the first event on our new BC342JZ setup. We also did some new things with suspension, and it was my very first time driving on full GT radial setup and getting the cars used to that, and myself used to it. So obviously we got really good results. We did sustain some damage though. It was not a completely clean weekend. Here is exhibit A. The door was just totally bent in, and I didn't realize it did this much chassis damage until we took the door off, and that kind of sucks, but hopefully we can address that probably after Atlanta at this point. And then what was the other damage? Was a wheel. We completely lost one wheel, but the wheel took most of the impact, and the whole rear of the car is okay from the wall incident. So overall, like, I feel so good. That event was tremendously valuable, got a lot of amazing seat time and competition seat time. I feel like regular, just at the track, turning laps seat time versus in comp, there's so many factors going on. You're stressed, like there's things that are being fixed on the car. I had to go out with, like, after making contact on the front wheel, like there's just so much going on that it's really good to put yourself in those situations so I can be more prepared for FD. Like, that's what all this comp time is about, is just getting in the mindset for Formula Drift, seeing how our team works together, which the team did an absolutely amazing job, especially considering our last battle was at midnight. I don't think I've ever gone into a drift comp that late at night, and everyone pulled through and we're on the podium. So that is pretty freaking awesome. And now we have our color coming back. Everyone was freaking out. They're like, who is this girl? Why is her car all like murdered out? Who am I? Am I changing? Maybe I am, but no. We're adding the color in now. So we're doing the last livery. We're doing the last 10% when it comes to aesthetics. And what I'm about to start on right now is installing a carbon roof. We did confirm that I have some weight to play with to make weight for FD, for tech, which means this roof can go, and I've always wanted a carbon roof. It's gonna match our carbon hood as well, and I've never done this before. So we'll see how easy or hard this entire process is, and this is the last week before my first ever FD event. So a lot of little things to do. I'm really excited to get everything together this week and get ready to head to Atlanta. So we'll start on this. I'm gonna protect everything, cover up the inside, and then start drilling out all of these spot welds. Just first we have to remove the existing roof to then put our carbon one on. Okay, I lied. We are actually starting in the back of the car. I have to take out the rear windshield. As you can tell, the front windshield has already been removed. It needs to be replaced anyway because it had a giant crack in it. So I'm gonna take this off first, and then that'll give us access to the rest of our spot welds, and then we can start removing spot welds for hopefully not too long, because there's a lot of them. Yeah, we'll start. Okay, so all 1,000,001 spot welds have not been removed. I just remembered I have to do the back still. But I wanted to talk about something and point it out. The front of here took me hours, probably because I was running around finding tools. Mostly because this thing, the tip, is just not sharp enough, even when you pre-indent where this is gonna go. So this method is a lot easier, because I hear a lot of people complain about this and it taking forever. If you just pre-drill, instead of relying on that guy to keep it steady, you can just go to town. So like I did there was way more on each side, like an excessive amount. And I did both of the sides, probably over 100 spot welds in like 20 minutes. when I actually had the right tools. So pre-drilling this made it so that I can just go to town. Each one super fast on the size. So that's definitely what's recommended for me anyway. That helped a lot. And then I'm just now realizing as I'm starting to pry this up, if you look in there, it's kind of hard to see. If you look towards the back, the firewall is sealed onto this, which makes sense. So we're just gonna have to wrestle this off, probably with a lot more effort than it would normally come out, because right here, it's wanting to grab itself, but I already see like the sealant coming off, so I'm gonna wrestle this up a little bit. I still have the ones in the back to finish up, and then the entire panel come off, so honestly, I should probably just do that now. It's just more annoying because there's riv nuts in here, so I also have to drill out the riv nuts, but now that I have a spot weld removal game plan, it's definitely not stressful, but I wasted a lot of time, so I hope you guys don't if you're doing this. So yeah, I guess I'll get the last ones out and then wrestle the top off.
Put your hands on me. Put your hands on me. On me, on me. Put your hands on me. On me, on me. Put your hands on me. On me, on me. Put your hands on me. On me,
where we're going anymore. It is now a sandwich. Probably really annoying to get off because of all the sealant for the firewall. And we ended up having to tape this top piece with it just as the sealant did not want to let go. The tack welds broke before the sealant did. So I'm gonna add that to the list. We're gonna have to re-seal the firewall. And this guy might not work anymore anyway because we took this center bracket out. Now, if this was a street car, you'd want to keep this in there. Basically just to add more structure to it, but Adam doesn't run one in his car, and this is race car, and we should be okay. I'm not gonna put the cross brace back in, and I would definitely recommend not doing it when your car is getting wrapped. Because when I was struggling to get it out, I nicked the side of this wrap. We can probably fix it. I'm gonna put trim there anyway. And luckily this is a Nosatech dynamic PPF, so some of the areas that I rubbed will come out, like with the heat gun. But yeah, finally. A million spot welds removal later, the roof is finally off. So I'm gonna clean all of this up. It has to be a nice surface in order for our other one to get mounted to with panel bond, and then I will show you guys our brand new carbon roof. All right, here it is. This is our new carbon hood that I got on drifthq.com. This is from HDK, which DriftHQ is the exclusive importer of for the US, and it looks so freaking sweet. So the whole vision was for it to go from the hood, carbon, up to carbon, and it's gonna look so sweet. My dash is also carbon, also by HDK. So really, at this point, now that I cleaned up everything underneath the old roof, you just have to sand this. I'm gonna sand all the edges with like 80 grit, then acetone everything, and then we can start on the panel bond funness. So I'm stoked. This is my first time ever doing anything like this, so definitely took longer than expected, but it's gonna look so good and be worth it. It's gonna make a big difference. Very heavy. Very not heavy. Step back. Dude, yes, so good. All right, I feel so much better about everything I've been going through to get that thing off of the car. This is so much better. And yes, I do plan to leave exposed carbon for the most part here and on the roof. It looks so good. In addition to it actually being functional, making the car lighter, It looks really freaking sweet. I did want a carbon trunk. Didn't get one of those, but it's gonna be wrapped anyway. So yeah, now that we know that it is, now that we know that it's the right roof, which if it wasn't, that would really suck at this point, but it's the right one. There's like 4 areas that you have to clearance for the, I think here's like where the roof mount goes. It's like a little bolt that has like another thread inside of it. So that will actually help us when it is curing, hold it down. So I'm gonna cut the carbon so that we are able to use that bolt to hold this down. And then I just gotta acetone everything, get it clean, and then we can put on the panel bond and hope everything goes well. Which it should at this point. I feel like all the hard stuff is gone. Or all the hard stuff is done already, but when I say that, it usually gets harder. So take it back.
Is it the front? Yeah, it's the front. I'm good here.
You can't see the jack anymore. So.
No.
Okay, so this trailer used to be Adam's trailer that he used for FD last year. And then Colette bought a new car. And then another car got built, the Hot Wheels RX-7 that you guys know about. So it's just been a bunch of chaos between 2 different trailers and 2 to 3 different cars, because also a lot of our old Corvette stuff was still in here. So what we're doing is we are taking everything out, going through everything, and one of my niches is like organization within Formula Drift. So I am going through putting the spare parts in totes and like labeling the totes, making sure we've actually got some grid walls that are gonna go up. A lot of the larger spares are gonna be attached to the grid wall, so if we're ever on a 5-minute call, everything's already pre-assembled. We just cut it off the grid, slap it on the car, and we're good to go. It's just a lot. It always gets worse before it gets better. So it just looks super chaotic right now. And I just want you to know this is an actual representation of my brain 24/7, so it's fine, we're fine. That was blue, except it's folded up right now. It goes all the way to like that sign right there. This is a nice 48-foot by 12 canopy, and the whole thing was blue. So originally we were using Rust-Oleum outdoor fabric paint, but it only comes in spray cans. And then I went through 12 cans by hand, and then realized they don't make it anymore in that color. So I had to find a solution, and I had to find one quick. And I'm not gonna tell you guys what we did because you're gonna laugh at me, but it's fine, okay? It's fine. So 2 days later, we have gray canopy and no blue. The underneath is blue. You guys don't need to know that. So back to it. You're doing great. It's hot. Florida's hot.
This is the scary part. Purging the air out of the line is scary because you have to have it loose on the thread so that the air can get out. That also means it might yeet out at you before it backs up. All the air is out, so now we're gonna tighten this up.
Why is it snowing?
Nitrous.
That's nitrous?
What? Just the coldness.
No way.
Using a lot of nitrous. There we go. Now the air is out of the line. Now this is cold bottle. Hot bottle, being out in Florida, because this is hot and that is cold, it's going to the nitrous into the cold bottle because science, I don't know, fluid dynamics, something like that, just because this is empty space and cold. So smart people in the comments can elaborate on why that magic happens. All I know is it works. So you can see here, this bottle is fully open.
This one?
This one's open, and I control what's going into this bottle by opening this bottle. It's actually going really fast. Usually it's slow. This is great.
Oh yeah, it's ripping.
Just let her rip all the way to 24. So I'm gonna stop it, check it. All right, we can give her some more. Keep it counting.
Do you think you can get it exactly on 24?
No.
I play this game at the
Stress.
gas station, do you? Where you try to get it exact?
I mean, sometimes, but then I'm like paranoid about it. But there is slightly extra weight on it because of the condensation, so.
Okay, there we go.
We're getting close.
Can't you do it?
No, I can't. I'm failing. I'm failing. Let's see what it's at. Oh, dude.
That's pretty close!
Okay, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Take it.
Alright, Colette has skills.
Just finished assembling the spare coilovers for Colette's car. So I have to use 3 different coilovers and use springs from here, bottom mounts from there, the top hats that are new white hat ones. So everything's assembled as a copy of the front ones there. I'm waiting for the car to go up so I can set the right height, and there'll be an exact copy ready to go in case front end collision happens and we bend a coilover or something.
I am getting the rear bumper set up right now, and then we will start cutting material on the cutter. Put decals on the car, you know, so getting through it.
We just reinstalled the window on the E46 drift car. They called me out yesterday to get the glass out to install the carbon roof, and just came back out today to redo the glass and install a new one in there.
We're now dismantling after a test run of new merch things, new activation. Full on, full send, Colette Davis.
You better be there to see this. It's gonna be great.
Looks great. But now we can print this bright too. Like honestly, when you take a step back, it's neon enough.